Welcome back, everyone. Ready to explore something kind of unexpected? We're going all in on meditation today, but not the usual stuff. This time, it's about that deep down joy, the kind that sticks with you, and how meditation can help us tap into that, our guide. A fascinating talk by a, get this, meditation master who actually grew up in the Himalayas. Now, I don't know about you, but I picture those serene mountains, and I'm thinking instant enlightenment, right?
Right. Peaceful mountains, monks meditating. Seems like a given.
Exactly. But this master's journey, it's not what you'd expect at all, started with some serious panic attacks, even as a kid surrounded by these ancient traditions. He wanted that calmness so badly, but couldn't quite grab it.
That's so relatable though, right? It's like we try that meditation app hoping for a miracle, but life just keeps on coming at you. It's really interesting because this story highlights something so important, mental well-being. It's not like a destination you arrive at, It's more like this ongoing practice. And even those who seem to have it all figured out, even monks, they can really struggle with it.
Totally. It makes it way more relatable for those of us who aren't, dedicating our lives to meditation. It's not about being perfect. It's about the journey, like you said. So, okay, not instant enlightenment then. What happened next? This meditation master decides, all right, 3 years silent retreat. Talked about commitment, right? But, and this is where it gets wild, is panic attacks. They actually get worse.
Whoa, so much pressure, right? 3 years, intense practice, and your mind's freaking out. That's intense.
Intense is an understatement. It's like this pressure cooker for the mind, and that's actually where his big breakthrough happened.
He figures out that we're often the ones making our own suffering worse by how we react to that inner chaos.
Okay, now I'm hooked. How do we usually react in a way that makes things worse? What's the breakthrough here?
So he realized there were these two extremes we get stuck in. We either become totally subservient to the turmoil, like, yes, sir, panic attack, anything you say, or it's total war, get out of here, you don't belong. But neither really work.
Oh my gosh, yes. I do that with procrastination all the time.
Yeah.
I either give in completely or I'm beating myself up for it, and it's like, neither one helps.
Exactly. And this realization, even in that intense retreat setting, it's this huge insight for all of us. How do we relate to those tough thoughts and emotions without letting them totally run the show?
Right. If those extremes aren't working, what is? What's the middle ground when all that stuff pops up?
That is the million-dollar question. And luckily for us, he doesn't just leave us hanging with this realization. As we get deeper into this talk, he actually offers a path forward, a way to navigate these internal struggles and find that peace and joy we're all looking for.
This is already making me rethink how I deal with my own, let's call it monkey mind moments. So we've got this intriguing setup, right? Monk in the Himalayas, panic attacks, 3-year retreat, a big realization. Where does this path forward take us? We'll find out in part 2 of our deep dive.
Okay, so we're talking about finding a new way to deal with that inner chaos, right? Not giving in, not fighting it. So how do we actually do that? This is where his story takes, like, this really fascinating turn. He doesn't just stick to the ancient wisdom stuff, He actually teams up with scientists.
Scientists? Seriously?
Yeah, like big deal researchers at places like Harvard, UC Berkeley. They wanted to study what was happening in his brain during meditation.
Wow, that's walking the talk, right? Bridging that gap between ancient practices and modern science. What did they find?
So they had him meditate inside, get this, an fMRI machine.
An fMRI. I can barely sit still in those things. What did he say about it?
He actually described it as a wide coffin, which, kind of funny, but also you get it.
Yeah, I get it. So what happened? What did the scans show?
They basically backed up what a lot of these spiritual traditions have been saying for ages. Meditation. It can actually change our brains.
Hold on, so you're telling me our brains aren't just fixed. We can actually, rewire them.
That's the incredible thing about neuroplasticity. It means our brains are always adapting based on what we're doing, what we're experiencing. The more we do stuff like meditation, the stronger those neural pathways become the ones for focus, compassion, all that good stuff.
That's kind of amazing, right? We really can shape our own minds. Literally.
And get this. The studies show that even a little bit of meditation every day can make a difference. You don't have to be on retreat for years.
Seriously? So I don't have to spend hours every day in silence to see results. That actually feels doable.
It's like any other habit, Consistency is key. And the benefits, they aren't just about having a calmer mind either.
There's more.
Oh yeah, the research showed a really strong connection between what's going on in our minds and our physical health too.
So By calming our minds, we're actually improving our overall well-being. That's wild.
The mind-body connection is pretty powerful. The study showed meditation can do things like reduce those stress hormones, like cortisol, even boost your immune system.
Okay, so it's not just about feeling more zen. There are like actual tangible benefits. That's really cool.
It all comes back to what he was saying about inner joy. You know, he wasn't just talking about being happy-go-lucky all the time, but this deeper, more lasting peace and contentment.
So it's less about chasing those highs and lows and more about cultivating something deeper, something inside. How do we even start to do that? So we're talking about this inner joy thing, right? This idea that it's not about what's going on around us, but something we find within. But how do we actually tap into that?
He used this really interesting analogy, compared it to, like, the stock market.
The stock market, yeah.
Yeah, you know, always up and down, unpredictable. Inner joy, he was saying, it's different. It's about finding that peace that doesn't depend on all those external things, those constant highs and lows.
So it's less about chasing those external wins and more about cultivating a sense of stability from within.
Exactly. It's like realizing that real joy, that deep contentment. It's not something you find out there in the world, you know. It's something you have to nurture inside yourself. And that's where meditation comes in.
So it's about like clearing out all the clutter, all those thoughts swirling around in our heads, so we can actually connect with that deeper sense of peace.
Exactly. Like clearing out a really messy room. Meditation helps create that space for those inherent qualities: peace, joy, wisdom, all that good stuff to come to the surface. And remember, the science actually supports this. All those neuroplastic changes we talked about, that's proof that we can actually rewire our brains for more joy just by practicing consistently.
It's amazing that we have that power, you know, and it actually reminds me of something he said that really stuck with me. He was talking about the impact meditation had on his own life. And he said, without meditation, maybe I could not be here. Maybe I'd still be hiding in a cave somewhere in the Himalayan mountains. Isn't that wild?
That's quite an image. From panic attacks in a cave to sharing his wisdom with the world, that really speaks to the transformative power of this practice.
It makes you wonder, if he could make such a dramatic shift, what's possible for all of us, right? If we really committed to exploring this practice, what could we achieve? Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of meditation. We started with panic attacks in the Himalayas, explored fMRI machines and groundbreaking science, and along the way, we discovered that meditation, it's not just about relaxation or finding a moment of peace in a crazy world. It's about unlocking that wellspring of joy and potential that's already inside each of us. So as you go about your day, here's something to think about. What's one small step you can take to cultivate a little more inner peace and joy in your own life? It could be 5 minutes of meditation, maybe it's just paying closer attention to your thoughts, being more mindful of how you react to things. Whatever it is, remember, the power to transform your life, it's already in your hands. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the incredible world within you.